Welcome back to the channel. Actually, today, let me. Today, Nanesh Bhai is actually facing some issues, and uh, let me. Yeah, okay. I hope everything is all right. I don't know. I mean, really. So it is like uh, you can see Nanesh Bhai right now. Uh, the thing is, Nanesh Bhai is facing some issues with his browser. Yeah, it is not allowing him to share his screen, and from last like more than 15 minutes we are trying to uh, like check if the browser like allow us to share the screen. I mean, it is allowing to share the screen, but the main part is the code and the command line stuff, right? But it is not allowing that to share, right? And uh so anyway, have you find anything?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
uh
So issue is that like I am able to share my browser only, not my editor. So just worried like how I can show the code. So just debugging that.
yeah,
So
that is the
like
reason.
yeah, we can start. I can show like the query outputs what I want, but I can't show the code. That's a blocker right now. So that's I'm finding some way. Somehow it's not allowing to share my editor. So that's I'm fixing now.
There were like, I mean, 10 people and they were waiting for 3 4 minutes, and now they're gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're gone.
So
All.
they are saying that you should go to the settings and privacy security setting, then go to the screen recording and allow your browser to share your screen. That is what they are saying. Let's ask
Yeah,
ChatGPT.
yeah. That's I'm checking.
I am also asking. I opened ChatGPT for after long. So, uh, can you give same instructions for what we call it, Linux?
Yes.
So here is the equivalent Linux. You need to go to the settings, privacy, screen recording if available, and enable it. Wow. Okay. There is another stuff you can do.
Mm-hmm.
You can like check if you have a command like Google Chrome, Google hyphen Chrome command is there. Then you can try something like this. I think. Let me share you in the chat of Riverside chat.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you can do that. Google Chrome, Google hyphen Chrome hyphen enable hyphen features is equal to web RTC pipe wire capture, something like that. So yeah, that is some command is there. There you should try. If it is not working, then we should try something else, or maybe you can start with just slides or something like that. If you have anything like that,
Yeah, that I have. Slides and all things.
I don't know. I
Yeah, so
mean,
we can do that. I
hmm,
can I have the code snippets in my slide, so I can show the slide, and meanwhile I also show the result in the telescope, so you can see the optimization time is how.
okay,
So okay, let's do that. That will be what.
sure,
Okay, let me share my screen and open my slides. Okay, just a
yeah.
second.
By the way, we are live on YouTube and Twitch both, right?
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah. So I have slides. I have a telescope. I'm now going to share my screen.
Sure.
Mm,
Oh,
Okay, I can also share it one thing at a one time only. I don't know what the
Okay.
issue is. Like
So
this because of
yeah,
like just recently updated my Ubuntu, so
maybe.
that's giving me the issue. Yeah,
So have you checked that what I was saying? I mean the thing what I was saying.
yeah.
Have
Are
you
you
tried
able to
that
see on
command?
the screen?
Yeah, I can see. Wait, I want to try something.
Yeah.
Let me try. Yeah, it's good. So now your screen is there, but your webcam is hidden from the desktop. Yeah,
Okay, cool. So like
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. So let's start with today's talk. So basically, I am talking about like how the things you can scale up your Laravel
Yes,
application, like after have some traffic. Like for example, when you build your application in the first level, it will, all things are working well. But
right.
when you have a huge user and use traffic, like after a few years, few months, finds your app have a more connections, then you are facing some issues. Sometimes it's very hard to just manage them. So I'm showing some basic things, what you have to take care for that, and I can show the results as well of that. Okay.
Yeah.
So basic first thing. Uh, this is a simple query, right?
Yes. You
So you
can
found,
slideshow. Uh, can you? I mean,
yeah,
or it
like I
will
have to
just
just I have to just switch between two things, so that's why.
okay. No problem. Go ahead. Uh,
Um, yeah.
so
So
yeah.
this is a simple query, right?
Yes.
And when you run this query, it's give the simple results. But what happens when your table have like 200 columns? So
Right.
sometimes what happens like it's take more seconds, and you
Yes.
basically need 3 to 4 fields only. But like while using Laravel, we are just we habitual method like just write the model and it's get and you get the result and you use it. But sometimes it's due the issue. So for example, in this case, I just need resolution date from time and end time for my booking. So if I
Right.
use in this way, it's definitely save my time. Let me give you example. I'm running to one test case in my
Mm.
code, which I run already set up. Mm, I will first run
Mm.
the first query,
Mm.
uh,
But we cannot see
and
your queries, right?
yeah, yeah, I'm running the same query which I show in editor, but
I think
both query one by one.
you can take a screenshot and paste into the presentation itself. Maybe if that works.
Yeah, let me open. Sorry.
Oh, I hope you
Yes.
can now share the screen.
Yeah. So like basically I opened the telescope.
Mm. Yeah.
So you can see I run the first
Mm.
query which I showed you in the slide. Basic query like
Right.
select. It will basically run select star.
Yeah.
So it's giving me 450 milliseconds.
Yes. And that.
And, yeah. And then I run with what I need specifically.
Right.
It's running 56 milliseconds. So you can see it's around 400 millisecond difference.
Right. And
This
you
is-
can
yeah,
also see some memory usage difference as well, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So
mm,
just imagine like you have this query run executes in day like 1 lakh. So how much time it will be saved from your database
right.
and
Of
application.
course. Yeah.
So this was the first thing. Uh,
You need to stop
uh,
sharing and keep
yeah,
changing stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
So
It will
what I
be so.
suggest is what I suggest is if you can take a screenshot of your telescope and paste it into the like this right the slides itself, right? That will save the time if possible. I mean that will save the time as well, and it will not break the stuff as well.
Sure,
I mean,
sure. So let's do on that way. In next, so first about the select one.
yeah.
Let's go for the second topic. So after like second is about Second is yeah, or you can say let's continue in the select one. So basically, this will be your take care. But where you are working with relationships, you are not
Yes.
idea. You are doing select star. For example, in the user
Yes.
table, you are getting department and settings. Okay.
Right.
So behind the scene, they are also calling select star. You are not aware.
Yes.
So it's also taking a time. So if you
Yes.
know, like in the department, I need only name, so you can also define like this ID name
Mhm.
or ID manager. So if you can use Telescope as a show, like for your debugging your application. So once you are developing any feature or any kind of things, you can run your feature and you can continue watch on Telescope. So you're getting idea. Okay, these queries have a select star. So you
Mm.
can optimize in that way. And these are
Right.
the hidden things. Like sometimes you are doing the coding, your junior developer or your mid-level developer not aware about these things. But
Right.
yeah, these things you need to take care, and
So,
it's really helped me
yeah.
anytime.
Okay. I have one idea. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never think of that, but I like think of this after checking your two slides, right? Last two slides. I mean, you are saying that you should you shouldn't use select star, and you should use like the particular you should select a particular columns which you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we can build something which like throw an exception whenever you use a select star. I mean,
Yeah, definitely, we can do.
mm, mm,
Yeah, that can be. But like sometimes you need select star as well.
of course.
So then, but yeah, we can do something on this, or we can write some rules. We
Yes.
can say to prevent this.
Right. Also, we can do one thing that whatever queries need
Yeah, I
select
write.
star in, then we can do like
This is
without this
This is
particular.
yeah, like what
Yeah.
I did in my projects.
Mm,
Simply, I always prefer to create a scopes.
mm,
So scopes is very helpful me to just handling this type of situations. Like I will declare the scopes in the models and we can use it.
mm, right.
Okay. Next, like what's sorry, what's you can see this query, right? So you
Yeah,
found
I
any?
think if you do slideshow, it will be better. I mean, I hope it will be visible. Yeah, now
Okay.
it seems better actually than
Yeah.
before, and the layout
Great.
is now bit better as well.
Mhm.
Now it.
So in this one, this is a normal query, right?
Yeah.
Select where, but it's taking some time. So I just
Mm-hmm.
make some one small change here. You can see. Let me change the slide. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just shift this condition to upper side. Okay,
Mm,
and let me run the command and show you like what is the impact of that. Just give me a second. First of all, I will run the first query.
ah.
Now I'm going to run the second
So,
query.
guys, you can ask any questions which you have in your mind related to database query optimization, right? We will try to answer. By the way, thanks for joining, Mohammed.
Yeah. So same here. You can
Yes,
see this is the first query where status is in first place,
yes.
and then I change the total price in the first place and move the status in the second place. So
Okay.
you can see the difference of 200 or 400 milliseconds here.
Hmm.
So like change is small, but 200
Hmm.
milliseconds is a lot when this query have a huge frequency.
Right.
So
Okay.
basically, what I'm explaining
Uh,
here. Yeah.
I want to like, sorry, I want to ask something. That
Mhm.
can you like, I mean, change your like display resolution to something like 1920 or something like that? I mean, it's kind
Mm,
of like rectangle. I mean, so yeah, it's I mean bigger than something
yeah,
like that. I
I
mean,
can do one thing. I can do one thing. which can
Hmm.
help you. It's better now.
That's okay. I mean, otherwise, the
Now,
thing was actually the layout is actually breaking when while you are moving to slides from telescope and telescope to slides. I mean, so if the resolution is something like, I mean, okay, let's continue.
uh,
Yeah.
so basically, I want to say here, like here is a difference of 200 milliseconds when you changing the conditions. So what happened basically behind the scenes, like total price greater than zero is a numeric and very faster to just filter it out. And then after a few records are left, which can perform better. So whenever you
Right.
writing the query, you have to mind like whatever filter do the best searching, which have the index, which have the numeric values, you have to
Mm-hmm.
put first, and whatever
Okay.
the stringable and the things we can put second. But yeah, it have a like if your
Hmm.
status is give the big
Right.
filter, then it should be first.
So
It's not
yeah.
applied to the every queries, but if this
Hmm.
type of query, it's give results. Like
Okay.
these changes help me a lot.
Yeah. Can you tell us, tell our audience that how, like, on how many amount of data you are running? I mean, the query, on how many data you are running the query.
Like you can say, yeah, I have 300 GB database,
Mm-hmm.
and daily I receive lakhs of records in my primary table where I'm running
Right.
these queries. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened like when day by day traffic is increasing, my tables records are increasing. So this query comes into the slow queries in my AWS cluster monitoring.
Right.
So I
Okay.
basically monitor these things. I just do some actions, R&Ds, and apply the efficient way. Then I get to know about these things.
Right.
Like these things matters. Like
Right.
for example,
And
in this type of
yeah.
queries using for my routine transactions. So yeah, in my daily interaction, it will be give better performance.
Yes. So, like the current database will have how, I mean, how many data the current database will have, like the local database which you are running the queries. I mean,
In my local database is maybe 15 lakh
you
records.
may you may run count where if possible. I mean,
Yeah, around 15 lakh records.
okay. Okay. Let's continue then. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I have to switch it
Yeah.
again.
Yes. So that's why I was asking, like, you can, if you can take a screenshot and paste it into the.
Yeah, like there is a issue like where you are, so you can just
Oh,
in the slides.
you better you put your phone on flight mode.
Yeah, okay, then the Wi-Fi will be also gone. Oh, okay, no issue. Uh, okay, so
Okay.
basically the conditions matters. I want to
Hmm.
say,
So, like, can you explain? I mean, how that particular query was faster than the previous one? Because
yeah,
everything was
y-
same. I mean,
yeah. So
most
like
of the thing.
basically what happens here is a total price. Okay, is
Yeah.
greater than zero.
Yes.
So
Hmm. One
the
thing I
condition,
understand is,
yeah,
one thing I understand is, uh, the total price is with the, I mean, long or integer or double stuff, right? Which is faster than the string
yes.
already, right? Other than that,
So basically, what happens like until my
hmm.
booking was not approved, I'm not
Yeah.
storing the price there, and
Okay.
I'm using is for this reporting purpose, like the monitoring things. So I just took example. It's easy to understand because like sometimes query not give more efficient result, but in this case, it's give the better result.
Yeah.
So like first query is filter out my most of records, then I go for the
Yes.
second one. So in that
Hmm.
way, it's give the optimization.
Right. Okay.
Now let's go for this query.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is all about like I have to just check this for six status. Okay, and it's taking some huge time. Let me run these queries. I just run the first one. Now I run the better one.
Yeah.
First is taking a while. So
Hmm. That's okay.
now I run
So
the
by the
best
way,
one.
mm,
Yes, yeah, what I was saying?
no, I think just go ahead.
Okay.
May I make I ask a question after you finish?
Yeah. So first of all, let's finish here. So this is
Yeah.
like the or words, okay?
Hmm.
And what I make a change or optimize this, I just use wherein.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So what the thing is here, when you do the or where, it's look like one, two, three, four, five queries, separate queries, run like that
Clauses. Yeah.
individually. Because or where is like you can say you can do the separate queries. And this I just make the in.
Hmm.
Both give me the same results. Like
Yeah. It is something like you are running for each and in array.
perfect, perfect. So
Hmm.
similar happens in the database as well.
Hmm.
Let me just refresh and check. Results is come. Okay, yeah. Let me switch. Sorry for this interruption, but
That's okay.
yeah,
Until we are, I mean, we are delivering some information. It's okay.
yeah. So you can see the first is OR query. Okay.
Yeah.
So this OR query take around 8 seconds.
Yeah.
It the plus and the in queries take 6.7. So 1.5 second difference. Just
Yeah.
changing this. So this also help you. Like sometimes in the query builder, you are very habitual to just write or where once
So,
things are there. But
yeah.
sometimes it's take a long. So I always suggest take or as your last option only. Just always think
Yeah.
when your query has or condition, you have to think twice. Is there any other
Yes.
ways? Yes or not? Maybe at that time it's not create an issue because you are developing a new feature. Your table have
Of
very
course.
less records, it's give the similar results. But if your table have millions of records, it's definitely impact.
Yeah. Hey, Pushpak, thanks for joining, man. Hmm.
So that's the thing. So
Okay.
as I told, like always use where in place of or. And in terms of coding as well, I suggest the same thing.
Yeah.
When you are writing a if condition with or, sometimes it's good. Like if your condition is small, but I see many legacy codes in Laravel where you have one condition like this and this and this, and or this and this and this, or this and this. I suggest you can write three if conditions. First if,
Yeah.
else if, second if, else if, third if.
Of course.
So in terms of debugging, it's also help you a lot. Like,
Yes.
but
Of course.
what happens like if you have need to add one more condition with one or and some or and or, so your
Yeah.
brain, your mind have to go into the nested loop in yourself as well, and you can
Hmm.
miss any test case or a particular edge case as well while changing the thing. But
Yeah.
if you have different conditions, it will give you a better result. Same in a database as well, or is a very, you can say, bad thing. It
Yeah.
can be
Golden
helpful
rule.
sometimes. Yeah, but yeah,
Your okay. Camera was turned off.
yeah. Okay. Then next, okay, this was very interesting one.
Hmm.
This is a simple query, right?
Right.
You-
Let's ask the audience what is the issue in this query. uh, let's see how many of that. Hmm. So, guys, can you like say that like how what issues we have in this query, or we can continue? I mean, mhm. You can till then you can I mean run the queries in background.
Yeah, yeah, that's I'm already doing. Multitasking.
Yeah. So, Ima. Mm, mm, no, Pushpak, I guess. Pushpak is saying schema.
Schema. Okay. Mm, my queries are run and ready to
Yeah.
show. Okay. So like this is a query, okay, which have some
L-
problem and I fixed.
don't show the correct
Okay.
query. Let's see the results first. I mean, what do you say?
Result is
Okay.
like yeah.
Pushpak is saying that I will add. Sorry, wrong.
Yeah.
I will add the index.
Okay.
Hmm.
The thing is like Pushpak is you're in right direction, but this column already have index,
Yeah.
and
Still, it is.
it's
Yeah.
taking 5 seconds, and after I optimize it, it will run in only 3 milliseconds.
Okay. So let's see the results first. After that, we will see the solution. Show the
When I
schema before asking questions.
yeah
Okay, but okay. One thing is clear now. It has the index, right?
yes this column have already index. Still,
Okay.
this taking 5 seconds right now in this query. In the next slide, I am going to the solution of this query,
Okay.
which convert into the 3 milliseconds from 5 seconds.
Mm. Ah, okay. So let's go ahead.
Okay. So the solution is query is this. Sorry, this one.
The column is string. Hmm. I mean varchar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So like it's an integer here is a varchar. Okay. So
Yeah.
issue is that like let me show you the results. So you can see it's an integer.
Hmm.
It's taking a 4 seconds, sorry,
Yeah.
around 5 seconds, 4.5 seconds. And
Yes.
after I make it string, it's 3 seconds.
Hmm.
So there is a no rocket science here. Like what is the reservation have indexing and the type is a string, varchar. But when you pass a integer into the query, it's not applying the index. You can say some limitation of MySQL, whatever you want to say. But this change save my server CPU around 60 to 70%. Like in my project when I just joined recently,
Mhm.
like previously, it have a
Right.
very large scale project and its CPU always around 80-90%.
Hmm.
And I have idea about this. So when I just looking for the slow queries, I see this simple query and it's taking 5 seconds. So I'm strange. Okay, what's going wrong here? I check lots of things and then I realize, okay, this is a string and I'm passing the integer. When I just make it a string, you can imagine my CPUs go
Yeah.
down 90% to 15%, and 40,
Hmm.
50%. So it's a
Okay.
huge difference because this query frequency is very high. And
Yes.
it's not at the beginning, like in the like in for certain column or certain records, it's working well. But after making some more counts, like it's come to the millions records, it's increasing slowly, slowly. And in some point, it's go to the 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So what the issue here, like we are not writing intensively, but sometimes what we are doing, we are getting records from the payloads and we are direct passing to the locals through the variables only. So it's go whatever we receive. So even we not have idea, like we are passing this integer in place of string. So in that case, so like I fix this error. Then I also finding few queries still in the slow queries. Why? Because I have in some of the table we are using left joins, right joins, and coincidentally in the second table the developer had one made a mistake. They put this column as an integer. So when you are doing the relationship, they are passing the behind the scene integer as well. So you can say this is a complete miss out of the architecture level, we can say, but yeah, these was the things, and I am sure like in
Okay.
my 3 to 5 projects, I found this issue in 2 projects, similar
Okay.
issue. So
Yeah.
it can be in your project as well.
Okay. So by the way, I think like have you tried to like set the key type as a string? Have you done that?
Yeah, what I did for this solution quickly, I
Mm.
made a one function where string
Yeah.
and just create trait which just basically replace the where and just change it to the string for that
Yeah.
quick solution. But and
Okay.
the second thing, what I did like in the every request, I just using the casting, like whatever
Okay.
payload I receive, I just make sure it should be converted to the string only if I know
Okay.
this is a string. So that's these two precaution I have taken
Okay.
when I have this issue.
Hmm. Yeah. So one better solution I know is
Hmm.
you can go to that particular model, which is which is I think bookings, right?
Yeah.
And you can like call the reservation ID is a primary key. I
No, no,
hope it
it's not a
is.
is not a
I
primary
mean,
key.
in a relation, where it is
No, no,
in
no,
the
no. It's my
relation.
secondary key. I just generated in the
So
random way.
the reservations table will be there, right? Where it is the primary key.
Oh, yes, you can say.
And in the relation where that is the primary key, it's being integer, right? While checking the condition, because Laravel
Mm-hmm.
by default use as a integer. That is what you think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is one option in the Laravel models that you can define the your primary key type, right?
Okay.
And it will automatically cast into the string whenever it uses into the where clauses and all,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I tried the casting in the model, but what the situation here? Casting is both
No,
basically
not that
for the
casting, not
output.
that casting. Yeah, not
Okay,
that casting. There is
okay.
a function. There is a function called. You need to define that function into your app. The key type, kind of key type. And there you just need to return the string, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have seen the has UID trait of Laravel, right? It
Yeah,
has
yeah.
the same method because UID will be string, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
just override that method into that, and they define the type as a string, right? And it will be now uses as a string on all of your where clauses, right? So that
Okay,
is what I was saying.
okay. That
Okay,
I will
let's
use
go
it.
ahead.
Yeah, great. Okay. Sorry for next time again. Yeah.
Of course, Pushpak is saying something, which is
Mm-hmm.
like if anyone passing user inputs without verifying, validating query ideally, they will have more serious issues than this. Of course,
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But I just say the ideal use case, like when this
yeah,
type of mistakes happen sometime unknowingly.
right,
And these are the legacy code, like when just I started the projects is already there. So I
right,
many found out many things. But yeah, in the new development, as I told, like I have a validator class and all stuffs and the casting and the all rules
right.
regulation now. But like sometimes it's behind the scene as well, like whenever we can miss out. So it's basically you have to taking care from where you are designing the table, so you have to take care of these things and you have to define some rules. You have to put some validation in your models and all stuff.
Yes,
So basically like this data type thing. Okay. In this query,
yeah.
you found any unusual thing?
Uh,
Simple, right? Just two queries are there.
I actually know the issue, but I will not like expose because I think I know this issue.
Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, so for solve this query, I just add one more condition
I knew
here.
it. I knew it.
Yeah. So basically what I want to say here, let me run the query first and then we will discuss. I'm just going to
Yeah.
run this
By the
query.
way, the Mohammed and Pushpak was saying that before asking you haven't shared the schema. So
Yeah, like basically I just only able to share my browser screen and this is my production table structure, so I cannot share. But I can ask your answers like what you want to for the schemas if you have any question.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, I run the queries. Let me show you like basically what I change here. I just uh, yeah, these have two column. I just add one more extra column here.
yeah.
That's it. And let me share the output. So here is, sorry, just not refresh it. Let it refresh. Okay. So my, just a second. Yeah. Okay. So you can see this was taking 17 seconds.
Hmm.
milliseconds. Here I just point out, like basically this parent ID have a not indexing, this table not have no not index. Okay, that's why it's taking use. I just add the store ID which have index, so it's give the results. Basically, I can add index in the parent ID as well if I want to optimize this query. But what
Right.
I want to say here, the adding the index is not a solution every time. If you have already one column which have index and it is a common for your query, so you can use their column. Sometimes
Yeah.
what happens, like when you have this type of query, first thing, okay, parent heading not index, like add index there. It will definitely fast your query, but it's also cause issue. Like whenever you add an index, it's also slow down your CRUDs. It's
Yeah.
increasing the chances of deadlocks. Like for example, if your table have 6 to 7 index, sometimes what happens, your table size was basically increased because of the indexings only. If you add more indexes, I want to suggest one thing only. You can use indexing column as much as possible. This
Right.
also helped me a lot many places. Sometimes like we are not using, because in this my thing store ID is present everywhere. And this is I maintain in my old data structure, and all my most of table have this column have indexing. So in many places when I review my code, I found okay, is we can use store ID here, and I have store ID present at the moment as well. I not have to do any extra effort in my code. So by just adding this, it will be working faster. So main concept is that like use the indexing column as much as possible. If you have like whenever you found any slow queries, just check your table have any column which have index. Yes, it can be present at the time where we are hitting this query. Yes, use it. No. So is effort is like if you pass any extra parameter, it's not much give more effort in your code, but you can see the results here. And I am able to add the index for parent ID, but it's increasing my database size and slow down my
Yeah.
CRUDs. So
Yeah.
that's I want to highlight here.
Have you got call again?
No.
Yeah, your screen wasn't visible. Yeah, now you we can see your face.
Okay. Okay. Let's move for the next. Mhm. So basically, that I want to say, just reuse the existing indexing. Okay. So I here is some calculations I want to share. So basically, in the select star, we save that around 300 milliseconds. In the where
Okay.
sequence, we save the 200 milliseconds. In the or where we
Mhm.
save the around 1 second. In the data type, what I say, the indexing, we save around 3 seconds. Reuse of indexing, I save 12 seconds. Where has I? Yeah, that's one thing as well. Whereas is very helpful, but sometime uh, you can use labs join in place of whereas. If you only use whereas for the filtering,
Yeah.
so it's really helped
So,
me in many things.
hmm, it's a quite debatable, right? The like I mean
It
topic.
totally depends on your use case. I'm not saying
No,
it's a not.
actually, now it is also depending on your database version. I mean, if you are
Mhm.
using database 8 point, I think MySQL 8.1 or above, I guess, or maybe if you are not using MySQL or using Postgres or something, the
Mhm.
situation will be different. Because
Okay.
what I know is now they convert subqueries into the joins into the background. I mean,
Okay, that it will be great.
hmm,
Basically, I just want to say use
hmm,
LabGIMP in place of subqueries.
of
That's
course.
you already told.
So,
It save
hmm,
lots of time. That's my point of view to share here. But like in the Laravel, whereas is a very much efficient to write simple like the so most of the developer use whereas most where and they want to filter and avoid something. But yeah,
yeah.
if this is your primary, this is your secondary tables like configuration settings. It's all good. But if your transaction tables, then just avoid it. That's I frankly say
Yeah,
because
sometimes. So you mean whenever you working with the large data set, you should avoid it. That
yeah.
is what you're saying. Yeah.
So basically, just I'm saying like if you have approx this much traffic in one day, so it
Hmm.
will save this hours. Simple. So
14 hours.
sometimes
Yeah.
like one sometimes like milliseconds also give impact. So, like you can see it's only 200
Of
milliseconds,
course.
300 milliseconds, but if your count is more, it's save a lot.
Yeah, of course. And one thing I also like understood is I also tasted this whereas and join stuff after talking with you, right? Before 2 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we debated on the same topic and I tasted as well. I mean, so
Mm-hmm.
I think if you don't have indexes, right? Joins will not save you. Lab join will not even save you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this also I want to share. Where so use the index column. Okay, same thing applies on the joins as well. For example, in the joins you can also add the and conditions. So
Yeah.
same things also, like sometimes what happens, we when we trying to optimize query, we are looking the code review, we never check the relationships conditions. But if you have this type of incidents and experience, I always, when any person like apply new relationships or this, I always focus in these parts. And I found like after 3 months, 4 months, developer also repeat the same things sometimes because of the in time crunch, because of the completion of the task, they forgot these things. And what happens like after like just when you make the
Yeah.
release and in 1 or 2 days, the same query found in your slow queries, then you realize, okay, yeah.
Pushpak is saying that indexing is a double-edged sword. Use it wisely.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because like indexing is a good, but not if you're not aware about the whole use case of indexing, they definitely kill
Of
you.
course.
In one of the my application, they have a very deadlock issues are there.
So,
So we
do
have,
you want to? I mean, okay. Sorry, continue.
yeah. Let me share one more incident.
Mm.
The morph relationship, okay? Morph relationship have two columns like model path and keys, and they have compound index, okay? But what I found in one of the project, the site was down suddenly. So I am not the part of that project, but they just called me to help me out. So I just checked the last release. The person used the morph table directly by only ID. So as they have the compound index, but they only query by the single column. So indexing definitely not applied. And once they make the change live, the table is taking a huge time, they are crashing, and database have used
Let me tell
six
you
users
something.
as well. So
Let me tell
sometimes
you
if you,
something.
so sometimes like,
Even if
mhm,
index works right, you will
mhm,
get wrong data. I mean, so if you have
mhm.
two tables, right, when you will use, I mean, morph relationship, when you want to like relation with the multiple tables, right, and see your three of tables have can have same ID, right? I mean, mm,
And one also incidents I experienced for morph relationship. Morph relationship basically for the, you can say, the small use case like storing the configuration, storing the settings, but you cannot use morph relationship in your transactions. Why?
no,
Because if you have 6 to 7 table which have millions of record and you have a common morph relationship table, the table size will be very huge. And because of that 6 table, if any other 8 tables are also connected with this more common morph table, it is also going slow down because of the very huge amount in the morph relation common table.
maybe
So,
it still depends. I mean, so first thing is, so see if your five tables want to communicate with one table, right? So what you will
mhm.
do, you will add five foreign keys.
No, like I'm just basically saying, chunk down your tables based on your requirements. Like my simple funda is that do not connect multiple things in a common place. If you are is one thing are used and other thing are not used. Like for
Yeah,
example, if you are using more relation table for 3 places, one
right.
table have millions of record and two tables only thousands of records. So what happens? Like because of that one table, your other two tables transaction are also going slow. You can
Yes.
even you can chunk it down or you can create a separate more or separate table. This is based on completely on use case. And what I learned from that, like never use more for the transaction tables.
Yeah.
Use for the configuration, like it's good up to the lakhs of records, not the millions of the records. You can
maybe.
simply use the like
Yeah.
simple relationships
So
for that if you
what is
want.
the issue? I mean, what is the issue with the more three relationship? I mean, why it is slow?
Yeah. So for example, in one of my table, I'm storing the tags. You can say metadata. You can say.
Of course.
So one table have huge metadata and second table have very less. But what
Oh,
happens when the second table have the insert query, they are also trying to insert in the most table, and it's taking 4 to 5 seconds. So because of that, the table was locked for more times and it's giving me the more issues. So what I did, I just separate it out for the small table, so their transaction will be smoother. They are not
okay.
stucking because of this
Yeah.
huge things. And I just have a proper indexing and column like I just and another thing, compound index is also taking a use. If you are indexing a integer column or some other columns, it's taking a less space and it's give a more accuracy. So these also help me. So I just use some integer logic there and I just add the restructure the design and it will solve
Right.
my issue. But I just learned like indexing is a very good thing, but you have to take more precautions. Most probably use the integer or you can say timestamp date most if possible. And there is a no use case of that, then you can go for the string index because it's give not more better result compared to the other ones.
Right. Okay. Pushpak is saying that one more SQL thing. Many people over normalized schema, which sometimes work, but normalized DB is not good idea for some use cases. Hmm.
Yeah, it's all about the use cases but the thing is like this all things if you have keep in your mind and when you are architecting something it definitely
Yeah.
help you like
So
whenever you design any table you have to think okay how much possible records should become in the
right.
table, what will be the frequency, daily basis, monthly basis, how many time like how the relationships are there and what is the frequency of call of the data, how you getting the data. Sometimes like some table have more insert frequency but less getting frequency as well. So and in this scenario you can use history tables. Like in many my project, I always transfer my data to the history table this end of the day.
Yeah.
Why? Because my importance is like more to just getting the inserting the data, not the getting the data. So if you keep lots of record in your table, it's definitely take a time. But what I
Yeah.
did, I just starting transferring my data to history table and I just come use the combine view when I just use for the showing purpose. But yeah, it definitely give me a you can say 80% boost to my application and
Right.
it's work well for the millions of record as well.
So one thing so do you like recommend using views for this kind of situation? I mean,
So thing like view is not give you a optimized result.
okay.
View is just about give you a combined tables.
Yeah.
You in the view you can set the permissions in MySQL, so you can if you don't want to share your complete data set to some other people, you can just create a view and only give access to them.
Okay.
View also give facility to just update multiple table using a single query. Like if you can perform the update queries on view as well. So this is a basic use case of view. You cannot optimize your query. It can be you can say like is some kind of function you can say which can combine two queries and give the combined result.
Yeah.
So this is my point of view and approach of view. I am also using view, but in that direction, not in terms of optimization.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the second option is to create a separate table and store every entry on that table as well.
yeah. What I did, I create a history table. Okay. In the end of the my like in my downtime, I just transfer data to my history table. In my history table, I can add some more indexes, which I cannot able to index in my primary table because I not need to search in that table, but I always search in my history table and like transferring the data. Like I have use case where I have downtime of 2 to 3 hours, so I can do these things. Basically, say sometimes it's not happen, so you have to do in chunk. Maybe it's
Yeah,
totally upon your
even
use
like
cases.
see,
Yeah,
even you can like provide like 1 hour or previous
yeah,
day
yeah.
dashboards
Bulk of
only.
yeah, and you can insert in a bulk as well if you have a
Yeah.
ready-made data set. So that definitely you can manage it. It can be manageable, but yeah,
Mm.
in that way, I get a very better solution in my many applications.
Yeah.
So
So,
it helped me a lot.
yeah, do you know that like I mean the Justin Bieber problem, Justin Bieber, yeah,
Um,
Justin Bieber. So what happened actually? Like Instagram, right?
mhm.
So what they were doing, they were counting likes, right, from
Okay.
the likes table as well, right? I mean,
Hmm.
so what they were doing, they were getting the Justin Bieber profile and post, right? And for every post, they were counting the uh, like likes count from the likes table, because you need each for you each user, right? Entry for each
Hmm.
user, right?
Hmm.
And so what happened actually, like Justin Bieber has huge fan base, right? And
Hmm.
one day it happens like they got he got huge likes, right? And the single post started breaking the Instagram, right? The single post started breaking the Instagram. And then after they started doing, like, they created one column. Initially they stored all the counts, and now what they do, whenever they enter, like, add the entry into the likes table, they also increment the likes count column as well onto the post table.
That's I'm doing in my one project. Same thing. What happens? In one of my project,
Hmm.
they want to show 6 to 7 years data allowed.
Right.
Okay. So the normal queries are taking 10 to 15 minutes to just getting the 1 or 2 years data.
Yeah.
So what I did in that project, I just create a view as you told, just simplify my structure. It's taking a half hour or 1 hour to just execute the chunk, or you can say all our process.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I create one another table which have same structure. I just add a cron job which run one single day at a one time. Is prepare the data and insert my table. It's a final results like if you
Yeah.
have a name in different table, but in this table you are storing the name exactly. And I say just one condition. In your reporting, you not able to see the current day data only. It is feasible for
Yeah.
you. Client said yes, it's all
Hmm.
because we are just this doing this thing for monitoring and all
Yeah,
insight
right.
purpose only. Okay,
So they
so the
never
all
want to.
reports,
Yeah.
yes.
Sorry.
After this implementation, the whatever reports taking 30 minutes, 40 minutes, is all reports are running into 0 seconds. And if they know they have to review these things, and I give the one button as well, whenever you click that press, the, the job will be dispatched manually,
Yeah.
and
Ah.
within some time it will be updated. So it's completely about use cases, like how use
Yes.
case your application have, and I definitely prefer this way. Like you can store your summarized result as well. And same as question I asked to the Jess Archer in the Laracon, well, they
Hmm.
are sharing their pulse things. So I asked the question to her, like, what is the challenging in like to handle this type of database in real time?
Yeah.
So she told like she start to storing in the chunks groups, like they are storing like they continuously increase the counts, and after for particular time period they create another record. So if you have a frequency of every second, but you require only grouping data. So for example, you can store in summary level, like for example within a 1 hour it's making a count, after 1 hour it create a new record. It depends. In one of the my project I'm storing data in 15-minute
So
interval, like
you are talking
so.
about the pulse, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So now they also have night watch, right? Which is a bigger database
Yeah,
stuff.
but
They're
definitely I'm saying like if you check their code or something else, they have this mechanism for sure, like storing data in grouping summary.
they are actually using something ADB or something like that,
Hmm.
right? Which is not which is good for. I'm sorry if I give a wrong name, but yeah, it is something similar to that, which is good for aggregating, like fetching the aggregated data and something like that. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's this kind of cloud
So
database or
mhm.
something like that.
Yeah, but in approach of MySQL, you can say if you have a large data set and if you want to watch in your insights quicker, these two approaches will definitely help you. Store in the
Yeah.
history tables, add more index there, it can be okay. If possible, they store in the summary level somewhere. So it will be give you a very quicker result. Yeah, what is challenging here? You have to maintain your data. That's a challenging, but you can, for example, like grouping lakhs records better than like grouping 1,000 records. You
Yeah.
can grow store into the like in thousands groups, so it will be a very less records. You can store, for example, if you have any restaurant product, you can group by store level. If you have any, for example, application like customer level, you can store in the customer level counts as you told, like they are just increasing the count, not every time do the lab joins. If any counts are come, they just increase the counts. So depends, but the scheme is like storing the groups. It also definitely do it. And the one last thing I want to share
Yeah.
about the optimization, caching. Caching definitely help you. Like for example, the query I told, like it's 1 second. Okay, if your data is not changing frequently, for example, if you have any product level, for example, inventory level application where you have catalog. Okay, so catalog will be never changed. So not frequently. So you can store the catalog data into the caching, and if you have millions of query in a daily basis, their data is not changing daily basis. You can use cache, so it will reduce your database connections, lots of. So it will be your database will be more occupied for doing some other stuffs like inserting or not stuffs. So that's also thing.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Oh,
if you guys have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can just conclude this stream. Okay, I think we don't have any questions. I hope.
yeah,
Okay, then thanks for joining, guys. Bye bye.
yeah. Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Panapal, for this amazing platform to
Yeah,
just sharing the things, and I'm really
yeah.
glad.
We can
So,
we can do part two as well.
yeah, definitely. I have many more.